Alright, so this is finally my review for Black Widow. Yeah, I know. I'm well aware it's fucking late. I have a life, you know? And yeah, so got to see it on a Sunday matinee, and I decided to, I finally got to watch it, and we're finally going to do a review of it. I know what you're thinking. Well, why did you review Space Jam first before Black Widow? Because I have HBO Max. So it's kind of easier to see that first, and part of me wishes I had. Anyway, so what did I? So this is going to be late review, so I guess I could talk about spoilers since this has been out for a couple weeks. So yeah, I guess we'll delve into spoiler territory. We can boldly go into spoiler territory. So this movie, as we all know, takes place in the timeline post Civil War. Like, this is set. Well, you could make the argument that it's set like during the events of Captain America: Civil War and a little bit after. So yeah, and I do agree with everybody else saying this movie came out like way too late. Like, this should have been. This should have been a film that came out right after Civil War. Like, this should have been a Phase 3 movie. Like, this should have been post-Civil War, like, somewhere in that timeline. You know what I mean? Like, somewhere, like, this should have been... Like, people have been asking for this since Iron Man 2, like, when she first appeared. And then they were like... Everyone was like, hey, we need a female superhero. And who could we get? And someone shouting in the background, Black Widow! Oh, I know! Carol Danvers! What the fuck? Anyway. But hey, better late than never. But I do agree that this did come out a little too late. But I do think there's some good here. There's some real good here. So let's get the elephant out of the room, because I gotta talk about this. I really do. Like everyone says, Taskmaster is the worst part of this movie. Like, we just gotta get this out. We gotta get this out of the way first, because there was no way I could talk about anything else. But like, the moment I was watching this movie, I was like, there is no way I can talk about this movie without addressing Taskmaster first and foremost. Now, Taskmaster, I think we all know that the controversy has been going around here, and speaking as a fan of the character, even I was like, I know the MCU is meant to be different than the Marvel comics. I've been aware of that, and I'm accepting of changes. But this, you had the chance to do something really cool with a character who was just this badass monster of a being, and you literally made him, now her, you've literally made that character just a sub-boss. You've literally made them like a sub-boss character, and I just can't... And also, you took away the one thing that was cool about them. Like, the whole thing of Taskmaster is that he has these, inherent abilities of photographic reflexes to just copy someone. I can't snap, but like that. Like, that's cool, but then you've made it, they're recording everything? That's lame. And I don't mind that it's a woman. I really don't. But you kind of figure out who it is, like, real quick in the movie. You're like, you look real quick and go, oh, so you're Taskmaster. Like, the moment they bring anything up, you're like, that's Taskmaster. Okay. But yeah, like, the whole point of Taskmaster is that he is just this, arrogant asshole who has literally gone toe-to-toe with some of the best heroes and villains in the Marvel Universe. And the problem here is that they've taken all of that away, like the personality, they've taken away, like, his abilities, they've taken away, like, every little aspect of that character has been taken away. And trust me, they've done more. This is like some done dirty moments, and I really hate to say that about MCU villains or MCU characters, but they really did Taskmaster dirty. Like, I really hope that we get the real Anthony Masters, aka Taskmaster, in this movie. At some point in the MCU. Like, I hope enough I haven't really felt cheated with a lot of villains outside of Mandarin and now Taskmaster. So, yeah. I was not a fan. And if you said, like, oh, Taskmaster's a woman, I would have been totally cool with that. But the fact that you've taken away like the attitude, the the characteristics, even the fucking powers. Well, not powers, but like abilities he has that make Taskmaster unique. That's what set me off. I didn't care that it was a woman. I was more mad that you've stripped down everything about Taskmaster. If you were gonna do that with that character, there were literally like 10 other characters you could have used, Marvel. Like Taskmaster was like, I was literally thinking you could have used so many characters, so many other characters for this reveal, and save Taskmaster for something else, but you didn't, because there's a ton of other characters out there who could have done this role and actually would have worked. Like you could have used, I don't know, the Reaver, someone from the Reavers, because yeah, some of them are like that, of the silent, characters. You could have used anybody. You could have used another Russian character. You could have used, like, I know they were using Darkstar to be, like, the quote-unquote mother to Black Widow and Yelena, but, like, you could have used it, because there's multiple Darkstars, and some of them are, like, just brain control, or, like, mind-controlled and silent. So you could have used, like, Darkstar and had, like, Natasha go up against someone with superpowers on her own. That would have been neat to see. I don't know. So, yeah, villains were weak. Like, MCU Phase 1 level weak, but you know what? Aside from Taskmaster, and I had to get that out of the way, the rest of the movie's not that bad. Like, it does feel like there are a lot of elements of, like, this felt like it belonged, like, Phase 1 or Phase 2 of movies, where we were just kind of, like, getting off the ground. But, dear God, I want to go back and watch this movie for the action sequences alone, because, like, seriously, there are some kick-ass fight sequences in here. Like, they are on par with what I saw in Winter Soldier and in Falcon and Winter Soldier. Like, it's up there. It's very much a great spy drama, although it does it is predictable towards the end, but it is kind of fun. The plot's kind of a mess, and it does slow down. Like, you definitely feel the runtime, like, halfway through the movie. Like, you're starting to feel the runtime, and you're like, alright, pick back up, movie, you kind of lost yourself. Thankfully, Scarlett Johansson and the cast themselves are really good. Props to Dave Harbour. Major props to Dave Harbour as Red Guardian. He's definitely the most fun, and having the most fun in this role. Although he is, admittedly, yes, he is playing a superhero version of his character in Stranger Things. I don't want him to be typecast. But it is, on the other hand, like, a nice little redemption from Hellboy. Like, how bad things went with Hellboy. It's nice to see him in a superhero movie where he plays a character that's very likable. I also like the little references to the Winter Guard. Hopefully we will get to see the Winter Guard at some point. And I want to see Red Guardian meet Sam Wilson. I really want to see him meet Sam Wilson, Captain America. And be like, I thought you were taller. And I will throw my hat in the ring, because Alexei, Red Guardian, talks about how he fought Captain America at one point. Everyone says, like, Captain America was frozen. He's like, you called me liar? And he's like, and it makes me wonder if, like, is he telling the truth, or did he actually fight a Captain America? Because yes, in the MCU, Captain America wasn't unfrozen for until, like, the early 2000s. But it does make you think, did he fight Isaiah Bradley, Captain America? Did he fight... Because, yeah, he was put out on missions that I vaguely remember in Falcon and Winter Soldier, where they talked about he was, like, activated for missions at some points for Hydra. So, makes me wonder if sometime in the 80s he did fight, like, Isaiah Bradley, Captain America, at some point. Does make me think. Or it could have been all bullshit, who knows. Or it could have been... There's a few others, like he could have fought Hazard. That actually would have made sense. Or Nuke. Yeah, actually, Nuke makes the most sense now that I think about it. Like, Nuke, out of all the characters he could have fought and thought that was Captain America, is probably Nuke. The rest of the cast is really good. The villains are, like I said, regarding Taskmaster and Dragov or whatever, generic Call of Duty villain number 36 I do like the family moments. I really do like that this, while it wasn't a real family, it still became one at the end, and I do like those moments here and there, and they really, like, even though, yes, the movie did kind of slow down at points, especially, like, you're like, alright, move along, at least the character interactions are very well done. I will admit some of the jokes, while they are funny, are like, that's misplaced, and I feel like that was kind of that's been kind of a running thing with the MCU, and a part of me wants that to stop. But yeah, there are some funny moments, especially with Red Guardian. All in all, it's not one of my favorite it's not one of my favorite MCU movies, but it definitely was enjoyable. Like, the Taskmaster thing I'm gonna have to get over, but like everything else disregarding Taskmaster was pretty fun. I don't know how many times I'm gonna come back to this movie, but it definitely was enjoyable. It was definitely worth the wait. It was definitely, a movie worth waiting for. And I think it delivered, and it definitely gives you a lot of hope for, not just what's going to happen post Winter Soldier, but now I'm kind of excited for Hawkeye even more, for the Hawkeye Disney Plus show even more now. So, and I've got a sneaking suspicion, I'm just going to say it right now, I've got a sneaking suspicion that we are getting a Thunderbolts in some capacity, either on Disney Plus or it's going to be a movie. But I think we are getting the Thunderbolts at some point. So I'm just saying that right now. Like, I think we're going to get Thunderbolts at some point, or the Dark Avengers. Probably Thunderbolts first. Anyway, so with all that in mind, not bad. Although I am more excited for, like, Spider-Man, for Shang-Chi and Spider-Man more, and Eternals. But anyway, so you guys tell me in the comments below, what did you guys think of Black Widow? Did you guys like it, hate it? Comment below, let me know, and once again, I'm Mr. Multiverse. I'll see you next time in the Multiverse.